Welcome into the LFC Transfer Room. My name is Jack. Today's video is an analysis of Liverpool's newest signing, Arthur Melo. Joining us is Julian Giannotti from the Bianconeri Zone, who's going to give us some insight into his time at Juventus and what it could mean translating to Liverpool. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's get into things. So the news broke on deadline day that Liverpool were pursuing a loan move for Juventus' Arthur Melo. The deal is going to be a year-long loan with an option to buy at the end for €37.5 million, should Liverpool want to keep him as a permanent member of the squad. Now, it's an interesting move, a lot of potential there. To kind of recount where he is as a player, what he could bring Liverpool, let's look at his time at Juventus from start to finish, and Julian will give us the very beginnings of it.
When Juve do transfers, especially a couple of years ago, definitely, we had Fabio Paratici, who now is with Tottenham, and he was known for doing types of deals called plus valenza. So in Italian, that means like we do deals that are amortized that make money in the future. So we knew that Miralem Pjanic wanted to leave, and his dream team, as everybody's dream team, is either Barcelona or Real Madrid. But Miralem Pjanic wanted to go play for Barcelona. So Fabio Paratici and whoever was running Barcelona's transfers at the time decided to do a deal where it sounds like financial doping, but at the same time, it's we sent Pjanic to Barcelona for 60 mil. Pjanic was like around 30 at the time, so that was a hefty transfer fee for Barcelona. But then we decided to take on Arthur Melo for 72 million because at the time he was 23, 24 years old. And although it wasn't going well at Barcelona, you, you would think that you could still make something of Arthur Melo because he still had age on his side. He's still technically very gifted. And Maurizio Sarri was our manager at the time of the transfer. So it looked good. It looked really good at the time that we sent out aging Pjanic. We took on younger Arthur Melo, and the only difference was 12 million euros. But that's when we had Maurizio Sarri. That was when we won our last Scudetto. We were coming into the season where we started to look really poor in the attack and with the ball. This is after the pandemic happened as well, and we looked really poor. So we thought this would inject some youth, inject some quality midfield play, and we thought with Maurizio Sarri it would work out. Now, obviously, in hindsight, it didn't, because Maurizio Sarri was fired about 2 months later for Andrea Pirlo, and Maurizio Sarri was fired because he couldn't get the dressing room on his side. So like Ronaldo, Dybala, all the main guys on Juventus at the time, they weren't connecting on a human level with Maurizio Sarri. So he got fired. Andrea Pirlo came in, and that was the beginning of the end for Arthur Melo at the same time.
So the beginning of the end, just 2 months into his Juventus career after the arrival of Andrea Pirlo, what was the flaws down to? What were kind of the issues that mainly plagued Arthur?
Um, he was given his chance, but Pirlo himself said this guy doesn't like to play the ball vertically. And as Juventini, as a Juventus fan, many of us, we agreed. Like it was just not. It was sideways passes back and forth, or backwards, sideways. He couldn't keep up with the pace at Serie A level. And when Andrea Pirlo was calling you out, the one of the midfield maestros of this generation, it didn't bode well for him.
So 2 years at the club, but within 2 months, he was already almost tossed aside. Success, failure, on the balance of things, how did Arthur's Juventus career play out?
So he was there for 2 years. He was here for 2 years. His time, you can't sugarcoat it. It wasn't good. It was 72 million euros spent on him. His wages are just astronomical for who he is and what we're trying to do with our team. And as soon as Max Allegri came in, he was done. Like he was toast. It doesn't play the way our system now is. Like we soak up pressure and then we go counterattack, or we soak up pressure and we defend well, or we try to defend well and we go attack. Arthur Melo does not suit that at all. So as long as Max Allegri is the coach, he's not coming back. Even if he doesn't work out with Liverpool, he's getting sent out again. The main issue we have is his wage now, because obviously he's not playing, or he wouldn't have played under Allegri. And Yeah, it's been a failure. It's been a failure. It just doesn't suit the style.
Well, now for Liverpool fans, the deal came out of nowhere. There was no links to Arthur until pretty much the morning of transfer deadline day, and it was very quickly when it materialized. On the Juventus side of things, how did Arthur's summer progress in terms of transfer interest, and what deals did or did not fall through?
There was multiple teams in for him. There was Sporting, there was Valencia, there was a couple other teams, another Portuguese. I think Porto was in and on him too. Um, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but he was never staying. That was made a point from Allegri from the get go. He was never staying at Juventus this summer. They changed his number, his kit number from 5 to 29, and Locatelli got number 5. And then he was not in the lineup at all at the start of the season. He was hurt with his ankle, but he was not really hurt. He was just kept out because they wanted him gone and sent out. Um, the funny thing is too, with Sporting and Valencia coming in for him, and some of these other mid-level European clubs, they wanted nothing to do with his salary. They wanted to pay maybe 20% max, and Juventus is like, nah, we don't want to pay so much of a salary and not have him on the club. So when the Liverpool deal arrived, obviously on deadline day, very early in the morning, mind you, I couldn't believe what I was reading. And most Juventini were like that as well. We couldn't believe Fabrizio Romano said Arthur Melo to Liverpool is on the books. I was like, what? I could not believe what I was reading. And during deadline day, we were like, okay, dry loan. They'll probably pay for most of it because it's Premier League club. They got a lot of money. Yada, yada, yada. They'll pay most of the salary. And we're like, okay, cool. And then the club statement comes in from you, like our club statement comes in on Twitter, and it says Liverpool have agreed to pay 4.5 million euros on an onerous loan, and then they have the option to buy him for 37.5 million euros. And our jaws dropped. I did a deadline stream for like 7 hours straight. Like I did a whole deadline day show, and our jaws dropped. We couldn't believe that we got 4.5 million for the year, plus you're paying the majority of the salary. And then if he does well and he performs and you guys like him, we get another 37.5 million euros. From like a week ago, where we thought we would have to pay 80% of his salary on a dry loan, and he'd play for Valencia.
So we've kind of gotten a sense of his career. Let's cap it off with the best, the worst attributes of Arthur based on Julian's recollection of his time at Juventus and what it could mean translating into Liverpool.
So his best attributes are honestly, he's tidy on the ball. He won't give the ball away many times. If he does, it is egregious, but his pass completions through the roof. I know I was saying that he doesn't play the ball forward as much as he should. And that was one of Pirlo's main things about him as well. Like you need to play vertically sometimes. Like it can't just be sideways and backwards. But he does keep ball. He does keep the ball very well. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes with the ball, so that's a positive, obviously. Um, and that for Juventus, from my 2 years experience with him, that's about it. Keeping the ball well and getting out of tough situations. He controls. Well, he tries to control the tempo of the game, but again, for us, it didn't work out. But for he doesn't make mistakes. I'll say that. And then for his weaknesses, his fitness is an issue. Not getting injured, but like his actual like, can he keep up 90 minutes? That's an issue. That's always been an issue. He was always one of the first subs to come out. And it wasn't because he was playing poor or whatever. It was because he just couldn't keep up. I remember I watched. It was like the 50th minute, so halftime just finished. 5 minutes into the second half, Arthur Melo made one run from his 18-yard box to around to the opponent's 18-yard box. Not with the ball. He was just trying to keep up and join the counterattack. And they went out for a corner, and he put his hands on his knees, and he was absolutely blowing. Like he was out of breath, like it looked like he smoked a pack of cigarettes before he made this run. So I think game fitness is an issue. I think he can release the ball a bit quicker. But again, I don't see him being an actual. I don't see him being a starter for Liverpool. If he's a day in and out, or if he's an in and out day game in and out starter for Liverpool, then you guys either have so many injuries in midfield, or he's actually is reaching his potential from when he joined Barcelona from Gremio. And he's just controlling the game, pulling the strings in the game, dictating the tempo of the game. So, and I'm not trying to knock him here. I'm not trying to say that it's a bad signing for Liverpool, because under Jurgen Klopp, you can get the best out of anybody. Under Jurgen Klopp and this Liverpool player, or this Liverpool team, he'll play around better players, and he'll have to be better because he wants to make the World Cup team as well. So that's another incentive for him to join this Liverpool team.
Some great insight from Julian all throughout. We thank him very much for joining the channel. Make sure you check out the Bianconeri Zone on YouTube as well as on Twitter. The links will be in the description down below if you want to get any Juventus insight or content all season long. We'll be on their page later in this year to discuss the Arthur move halfway through this loan to see if it's a good or bad thing for Liverpool. A lot still up in the air. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video if you enjoyed it, and let us know in the comments any other videos you want to see from us. For the LFC Transfer Room, I've been Jack. Catch you next time. Take care.